Hello, welcome to Climate Workers Anonymous. This is Ross Kenyon. I am the curator of Climate Workers Anonymous. I've worked in carbon dioxide removal and climate tech for about a decade. This is a show where people can share their real feelings about working in climate, which is often very different from what is shared on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a strong boosterish feel. This show does not. It's either very sincere hope or massive frustration that is hard to say out loud without harming one's career. I'm going to do a really short episode today. I'm wondering how that will be received. Put a new thought in someone's head, and then you're off doing something else. And this submission is definitely not LinkedIn boosterish. I will editorialize in the most minor way possible by saying that. Here is the only submission from this week that I will read. People often joke that there are more intermediaries than buyers in this industry. It's not far off being true, and as demand continues to flatline, the dog that hasn't barked is that almost none of those intermediaries have called it a day. It seems clear that the majority of them are now zombies, either staggering on to spend all the remaining VC cash with no prospect of raising again, or worse, cutting headcount down to a skeleton crew whose sole remaining purpose is to invoice their 2 repeat customers, post thought leadership on LinkedIn, and attend conference dinners holding court as the quote-unquote buyer, guest of honor, amidst a sea of desperate project developers. End of submission. If you like what's happening with this show, would love some feedback, comment on LinkedIn or on Substack. Substack is primarily where this publication is active. I usually do some writing in addition to whatever the submissions were about that week. You're going to get the most out of this by joining on Substack. So the link is in the show notes if you'd like to do that. There's also a link if you'd like to submit your own stories, experiences, feelings, anything that relates to climate in this kind of way. I'd love to read them for you and publish your words. They're anonymous takes. They're unverified, so I'm not tracking down information to corroborate these stories. And thanks for listening. A great rating and review on your podcast apps, following on LinkedIn or Substack is very much appreciated. And thanks so much for listening.